Hi and welcome to another video update from the Fire Brigades Union, once again via a video conferencing facility due to the COVID-19 lockdown. We've heard earlier from General Secretary Matt Rack about the successful lobbying on behalf of the FBU to achieve testing for firefighters and fire service staff. We're now joined by the national officer who's been a key part of this lobbying for the FBU, Riccardo Torre. Riccardo, hi and welcome to the video update process. I suppose, first of all, in regard to this, what kind of testing is this?
The type of testing that Matt Hancock, the Westminster Health Secretary, announced today that fire rescue service staff now, amongst others, will have access to is the antigen test. So that's a swab test that detects the presence of the virus in an individual who may be carrying it.
Okay, so just to be absolutely clear, will this test tell you if you've had the virus previously?
No, this isn't an antibody test. This is a test and a swab solely to detect the presence of the virus if you're currently carrying it.
Okay, Riccardo. Now, as I understand it, if you are symptomatic and you're a member of the fire service or a member of your household is symptomatic, you can go to one of these test centres. You'll have the swab, as you've stated. But how does this actually work? What then happens?
Yeah, so that's what the most recent guidance available suggests of who will be eligible for it. And that, again, is one of the limitations to this particular testing strategy, because we, of course, would like to see all FRS staff tested, even those who aren't presenting symptoms. But this is a swab for those, as you correctly say, showing symptoms or living with somebody in their household who does. We believe these are going to be drive-through centres. The individual will receive a swab, either nose or throat. This is then packaged, sent off to the lab where it is tested for presence of COVID-19, and the results are then sent back to the individual within 24 to 48 hours.
Now, Riccardo, I understand there's been an enormous amount of lobbying to achieve this. Just give us an idea of what that's actually meant.
The Fire Brigades Union throughout this has been carrying out extensive lobbying of governments in all parts of the UK, in fact, and we followed it up with letters to the relevant ministers with responsibilities for fire and health. We've lobbied all members of Parliament and put forward the strong arguments in the case as to why fire and rescue service staff should receive early testing for COVID-19. That's because this has obvious benefits for the health, safety and welfare of FBU members. It is also vital in protecting that resilience of being able to maintain our core functions, as well as any additional activities that we may be taking on as part of the national agreement.
Yes, because as we understand it, members of watches, for instance, working closely together on a day-to-day basis, if one of them starts showing symptoms, the whole watch then has to go away and self-isolate for a significant period of time. Is that the case?
Yeah, that will be in line with government guidance. And that's why we're saying this testing, we are welcoming it, but it is coming late. You know, thousands of firefighters are already in self-isolation, a situation that may have been avoided if we'd have introduced testing earlier in the way that we've seen in some other countries. But nevertheless, we do welcome this antigen testing and some access to it for FRS staff.
No, absolutely, Riccardo. It's a significant achievement. But of course, the union's not stopping there, is it? There's other projects that you've been working on in regard to testing. Can you give us an idea of what they are and indeed what stage they're at?
Yeah, we've been liaising with the NFCC lead on a project that the FRS are doing jointly with the police, and that's exploring the use of the police forensic labs to be able to deliver the same antigen test, but particularly for fire and police staff. Now, we hope that that may be able to provide a more tailored testing strategy for fire and police. And by that, I mean, you have to be showing symptoms or presenting symptoms or living with someone who is to book an appointment through the NHS testing. You know, we would strongly argue that all frontline staff should be frequently tested, whether they're showing symptoms or not, because as we know, once you present symptoms, you could have had that virus for some time before, and many people are contracting this virus and showing no symptoms at all at any stage. So it's important that we eventually test all FRS staff, and this is a campaign that the Fire Brigades Union are going to continue lobbying for.
Riccardo, thanks very much and keep up the good work. Well, look, for more updates on this, you can go to our website. That's www.fbu.org.uk. In regard to testing within your specific FRS, information should come from the local service, but you can contact your local official. All the contact details are on our website. Well, thanks for joining us. And Riccardo, thanks very much for your time.